Greetings and salutations, my name is Deku Druid and welcome back to Warhammer 40k Dawn of War. Today we're going to be jumping straight back into episode 4 and continuing to play the amazing campaign of the Blood Ravens. We are continuing our hunt to find the war boss Orcamungus and put him down to try and stem the flow of the green tide over Tartarus, this planet. So anyway, we're going to jump straight in today, and let's see if we can't finally find out what's also happening with our dear librarian.
The defense of the city of Magna Bonum was a success. The orcs caught us off our guard, but not unprepared. I will not underestimate these aliens again. It is clear now that their primary push was towards the capital city, and they have moved in to attack with a speed I have rarely seen a military force capable of achieving. I have read reports of orc clans who focus on fast strikes, but I did not realize they could be so coordinated. It is as if something is driving the orcs here, some unknown desire or instinct. The Imperial Guard regiments watching over the city are decimated, and will not be resupplied for at least 24 hours. The orcs will renew their attacks far sooner. Our scouts are reporting a force massing 50 kilometers from the city that dwarfs the group that attacked Magna Bonum, and reports from civilians speak of a mighty orc who leads them, bigger and more cunning than the rest. If the capital city falls, this planet will not be far behind. I cannot allow this to occur.
Everything is ready, boss. Them Humies is in for a good stomping. This is gonna be the best fight of their miserable lives.
Just make sure it's the last fight of their lives.
I don't take orders from you, Humie.
We've held up our side of the bargain, have we not? You wanted a new planet to wage war on, and we have given it to you. You wanted to face the Imperium's greatest warriors, the Space Marines. They are here. We've even provided you with weapons and Imperial tanks to use on the battlefield. And all we ask in return is that you keep the Imperials distracted from our operations here.
You've kept your word. But that still don't mean you can order the orcs around.
My apologies. We've delivered the last of the weaponry. They're in the hands of your servants. We'll take our leave now. I respectfully request that you keep the Marines busy for as long as you can.
We'll keep them more than busy. We'll keep them dead.
The thought of kowtowing to these creatures disgusts me. The orcs are a tool, nothing more, and quite an effective one, I might add. Perhaps. But I dislike providing such unpredictable aliens with our own weaponry. Lord Bale. Orcs are not unpredictable. Quite the contrary. You can rely on them to turn against you. But they will honor our agreement as long as we provide them with enemies to satiate their battle lust. If we intimidated them into doing our bidding, showed them our strength, they would take pause before betraying us. You cannot intimidate something that knows no fear. Trouble yourself no longer with the orcs. We will have what we came for and be gone before they finish with the Imperials and turn on us.
Why is we talking with them humies instead of fighting with them? Them smelly chaos boys is weak. Not nearly enough of a challenge for the boys. If they were strong like orcs, they wouldn't need us to fight for them. We'll take their guns and their help, and when we're done chopping up all the humies, we'll come back here and chop them up as well.
Orbital imagery shows a heavy concentration of orcs in the area. We must secure a location and establish a base before destroying the war boss and his clan. Combine the holy fire of the whirlwinds with the jump packs of our assault marines. Cleanse this area.
Right, what a cutscene. So much to get into there as well. Well, we can officially confirm the presence of chaos at least, and it seems we are in for one hell of a mission this time, because that was a squigoth. That big old thing, that was an orc boy's favorite pet, a war boss's pit bull, basically. That thing is what happens when the orc genome, instead of turning out when an orc genome, or an orc gene seed, I guess would be the equivalent of it, grows from one of their fungus bases, what ends up happening is they produce a bunch of different things. Not just orcs, they also produce Gretchens, snotlings, and squigs. Squigs are these little runty things normally, with like 2 legs that have an orangish color, sometimes a spiky mohawk or stuff. That thing there is like a squig that ate all the other squigs in its batch, and then got blessed by Gork and Mork after eating a bunch of roid shrooms. So, yeah, it's here to party. These whirlwinds are doing some okay damage. Their accuracy leaves something to be desired though, which is why I'm focusing that fire on the as far away from my assault marines as possible. I just did not want to get my boys caught up in that. I have to give credit to the Orc War boss, Orc Among Us. He looks like what I want from an Orc War boss. I mean, he's no Thraka, but again, Thraka is amazing. I will say this about these whirlwinds: they are putting in the work right now. Very nice. Right, I might just skip forward ever so slightly after I finish doing my bombing run with the whirlwinds, and then I'll cut back in when I deploy my assault marines to go in and clean up, okay? To the sky. And they're in. Okay. I did exactly as I said. I used the whirlwinds to take out the last of those orc structures, and now I'm just setting the assault marines to clean it up. You didn't miss out on anything, I promise. Yeah, so, the other thing we saw in that cutscene was a bucket load of armor. Like, we're talking war trucks, tanks. It's like, I'm genuinely a little bit nervous about that amount of armor, because whirlwinds are anti-infantry, and as good as our dreadnoughts are, they also are technically...
the war bosses in the vicinity of this location. It seems a second orc clan has gathered between us. They are heavily defended on this plateau. They must be eliminated to clear a path to the war boss.
Orders received.
Right. So that, there's two bases for us to take out in this mission. Okay.
My knowledge is at your
Good to know.
disposal.
As I was saying, though, our dreadnoughts are actually currently equipped with anti-infantry weapons. Also, they have the what looks like some type of storm bolter on their right arm and a flamer on the other.
Yes.
This is a problem because that means our best anti-armor is currently our tactical Space Marine squadrons when we upgrade them with the rocket launchers addition from the armory upgrades. This is good and bad. It's good because the rockets, as we've seen in previous episodes, do the good work. It's bad because those tanks are going to rip through them. Not even a contest. With all the amount of explosions getting thrown around, they're just going to get tossed about like... Honestly, they're going to get tossed around like a bunch of chips in a fat kid's bloody bag, so I don't really know how we're going to handle that, except to throw obscene amounts of numbers at them and hope it's enough. But I do know this. Armor, I'm pretty sure armor can't see invisible things, so I've got a squadron of scouts. We're going to use them to go get an idea of what we're dealing with as soon as possible. I also want to try and get some of our gun encampments up, because I do not need a bloody tank brigade rolling up on my base right now. It would be devastating.
At your command.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. They have storm boys. As if the armor and the squigoth wasn't enough.
Assault Marines
They've
are
also
now
added
available
storm
to us.
boys.
They can be built from the chapel barracks.
I mean, we have our assault marines, so I guess that makes sense.
Most beneficent one.
Does mean the melee.
Instructions.
Pardon me. It does mean the melees are going to be a little bit more hectic, but
Here to serve.
I don't know. There's not much I could do to avoid that in the first place. I was expecting them to get overwhelmed by slugger boys to begin with.
I await your instructions.
As if on cue.
I exist
I'm glad we
to
put down
serve.
at least one gun encampment.
Our aim is true.
If I really do have to be concerned about assaults coming our way, the best option, in my opinion, is going to be for us to try and formulate a strong,
At your command.
resource-rich base. I'm going to want us to get our requisition points up, I want to get our energy up, and once that is done, and we're in business, then we can start pushing in. But for now, I just want to try and get our resources up so we can get our upgrades situated, so we can focus on getting the troops we're going to need. Speaking of, that's a very narrow walkway, which is why I'm going to put landmines in it. For heaven's sakes.
Instructions. I exist to serve.
Scouts in position. We will take them down
Yes,
from here.
Lord.
Snipers? Hit them with it.
I
Huh.
exist to serve.
Okay, that didn't kill him, but the damage it did wasn't tiny.
I exist to serve. I shall obey.
Oh no, he died. So
I
sad.
will do
Anyway.
as you await your instructions.
My
Okay,
knowledge is at your
we
disposal.
are somewhat hurting for resources, and
Yes, Lord.
the only way to deal with that is just to go in, so I'm just gonna gather the boys up and march in there. Sorry, the Marines up, go in there. They're not orcs, Deku, no matter how much you want them to be.
With all due haste.
The Librarian's gonna go with them because I want to have that AoE thumper ability there in case I need it. I really do love the orc structures. I know I've already talked about them before being, you know, just heaping scrap that works because the orcs believe them too, but just the way they look in the game is actually really cool.
Venerate the immortal emperor.
Why did you use grenade pins as nails? Well,
to
I
serve.
ran out of nails.
I exist
What about
to
the
serve.
grenades? Don't worry, we
Beware
put them in the
alien,
structure.
the mutant.
They're the ball bearings.
Yes, most beneficent
Or I guess if you're a
one.
goth, they're your drumsticks.
I will do as you ask.
The machine cult is ready to be requisitioned. Build it to gain access to vehicles.
Those Those whirlwinds, actually. If we use them
While the enemies of the Emperor
cooperatively with
still
our
draw breath, there can be no peace.
with our scouts, we could probably
Yes,
get
most beneficent
soften up
one.
quite a few troops.
Build routine 721 initiated.
Awaiting orders.
I mean, obviously, we'd
What
have
would
to
you
get
have me do?
the whirlwinds up first, but
the Emperor's chosen.
it's not a terrible idea. If we can get our scouts in a position to at least give us a line of sight, we can just then use the whirlwinds attack area
This
command
day
and
shall
just
be a
hammer it with
glorious one for
explosives.
the Imperium.
Search commencing. Commencing infiltration.
Let's see what we
We'll
got.
move ahead and mark any enemy
Some
positions.
shooter
Gathering
boys or
intelligence.
slugger boys.
On patrol.
Is that interchangeable? I should check
Gathering
that.
intelligence.
But we got some boys up there.
We'll move ahead.
Ah, more storm boys coming in, but this time we're ready for them.
Search commencing.
Got a librarian and a space marine commander there to catch them. Actually, that's something I can talk about. Storm boys. Fun fact about storm boys: they are weird, awkward orc teenagers, and that is indeed the best way to describe them. Unlike most regular orcs that charge into a scrap looking for a good crumpin,
Scouts here.
storm boys actually
Gathering intelligence.
use
Yes, my lord.
tactics and follow a chain of command and are very regimented. You might even say they're almost Umi-like. But
Yes, my lord.
of course, when I say that, keep in mind they are still orcs strapping themselves to
Commencing
giant rockets
infiltration.
and flying themselves into the
move
melee
ahead
by,
and mark
way
any
of,
enemy
again,
positions.
explosive flying
On patrol.
ordnance.
Search commencing. Search commencing. Yes, my lord. Getting into
Right.
position. On
So
patrol.
we'll be finding our way up
Search
through
commencing.
these log towers, which shouldn't be too much of a problem in all honesty.
Search commencing. I sense danger. We will root it out. Scouts advance. Commencing infiltration. Getting into
Okay.
position.
So
Getting into position. Getting into position.
we're gonna
I
need to
sense danger. We will root it
work
out.
our way up the winding road, but I would like to have a more sizable force before we do that. So
Here to serve.
I'm going to get our machine cult going.
Build protocol.
I'll probably end up cutting around this just to speed up, but I'm gonna get some upgrades going and get us some. Basically, I'm going to bring out the big guns so we can start working our way up that road to the first of the orc bases. So many marines, but nowhere near enough. Oh, great. More of you. Come on. Wait a minute. You boys look a little bit beefy. Oh, no. Oh, no. Those are knobs. Those are orc knobs. Oh, no. Well, this is a situation now. So, I would have preferred if it was just Storm Boys. Knobs are the upper echelons of the Orc Society. They are bigger, stronger, and stabbier than regular Orc Boys, and in fact are the ones who hand out and, well, you know, like dish down the commands of the war boss. That's gonna be a slight problem because they are heavily armored infantry.
Scouts here.
I'm not sure. I'm probably gonna end up needing some anti-infantry, so we might actually need a squadron of stormbolters. It's just stormbolters do next to nothing against the armor, but we're gonna need some anti-infantry for them because I do not feel like having my marines ripped apart by the knobs. Like, just then that wasn't a good
Scouts
showing of
awaiting
it because there was
orders.
the turret, 2 commanders, and the assault marines. But I really don't want to see how a regular
On
squad's
alert,
going to
brothers.
fare up
There
against
is
these,
the enemy
like
must be nearby.
squad of knobs in the
Only degrees
balancing
of guilt.
of this gameplay specifically. Like I said, I was just upgrading and trying to build up enough force to march our way up to the top of the mountain. All I'm doing with the tactical marines there, by the way, not tactical, sorry, the assault marines there, is I'm just trying to like destroy some of the enemy's resource gathering. I want to try and slow down any recuperation they could do. It seemed like the reasonable thing to do at the time. But yeah, just for now, more just trying to get a bigger army.
Reporting for duty.
Right.
Scouts ready.
Probably want to get a few more marines. Then we can
Scouts advance.
get into the things. Pull these boys from back up there, because there's no point in holding that point with melee troops. We'll get the whirlwinds in soon enough. I just need to... I do need to push in just a little bit to take advantage of them. But, yeah. So the plan for now is to push up about just about halfway up this first strip to the first corner, take advantage of this crater over here on the left. Then we're going to send our scouts around the back to get us our line of sight necessary for us to take advantage of the whirlwinds, at which point we will begin to just send hail explosives down on the targets. Targets being the Warg Towers. Oh lord, he running. Oh lord, he dead. That was weird.
Whirlwind here. They will never see it coming.
Let's take advantage of some of this artillery.
Beware the Indian. Knowledge is power. Hide it well.
Hear our wrath. Moving out.
Okay.
Stay vigilant, brothers.
So,
Taking heavy fire.
for the time being, I really don't want to accidentally trigger like the orcs and get them to rush me with their tanks. If when we move in, I want our assault to be very final. I want it to be very simple, and I want us to do this with like the least amount of casualties possible.
Cleanse, purge, kill.
Knowledge is power.
That is the goal
Hide
for
it
the time
well.
being. I'm not sure if it'll survive
We
long,
stand
but
ready.
that's what we're going to try to do.
Fear denies faith. What is your order?
As I said earlier,
Faith is our shield.
I am somewhat nervous about the amount of armor I saw in that opening cutscene, so I'm probably just going to try and throw rockets on as many of these guys as I can. Ah, first Warg Tower done.
Whirlwind here.
Get these boys to stop shooting. Fantastic. Let's
Scouts
get in
here.
there,
Scouts advance.
get us our
Commencing
targets,
infiltration.
and
Scouts
paint the
advance.
targets, and then just,
Scouts
you know,
advance.
wipe them out.
On patrol.
Whirlwind artillery tank here.
Perfect.
His wrath falls from the heavens.
Faith is our shield.
Good, good.
Ever vigilant.
Needs rockets.
At your command.
Needs rockets.
I have awoken.
As the dreadnought. Right. We're gonna want 2 dreadnoughts. Now the dreadnoughts are gonna play a key part in this. So, with all of our marines being equipped with rockets, I want to use the dreadnoughts as our anti-infantry. That way, I can focus. I can let them handle the knobs, the storm boys, and the slugger boys when they get in close.
Yes, Lord.
Meanwhile, the shooter
Yes,
boys can be
Lord.
handled. Well, also partially by them and their storm bolters, but you know, but just the marines who don't have their rockets equipped. Either way,
Yes, Lord.
that will give the rockets the opportunity they need to be able to take care of structures and, more importantly, the numerous tanks that I saw. I'm sorry if you hear me yawn. It's I don't know what's wrong with me today, man. I've been yawning like crazy for some reason. It's this slow and steady play style. It's getting to me.
This day shall be a glorious one for the Imperium.
Indeed it shall. Right. We got the army. We got them kitted. We're ready to rock and roll.
Even in death, I still
the scouts are on the minimap. You can see the scouts are running on ahead. They're gonna get us a scope of the base. Not sure how long they'll live, honestly, because if there's so much as a single commander in there, they will get shot to shit. But, more importantly, it's time for us to take the first base. Now, I have noticed this. It's not necessarily a bad thing, I want to point out, because again, this game is relative. This game's pretty old now.
I shall never
but
tire.
I've noticed that it seems to struggle a little with issuing orders to a lot of troops. Like, AI pathing is mainly what I'm referring to. They seem to struggle a little bit in that regard. But again, and I can't stress enough, the game is old, but that by no means is that big of an issue. It doesn't become problematic that frequently. Oh, yes! Put that mech boy down! See, the killer can right there? That's what I was afraid of. A single killer can, I know for a fact, and it will just shred the Marines if I'm not careful. So that's why, even if it means not having as much anti-infantry power, I will instead amp up all the anti-armor power we have, because I just do not want to have to encounter the situation where a single killer can ends up decimating half my forces. But no matter,
we prevail.
because it's not going to happen. Not on my
Through
watch.
the destruction of our enemies do we earn our salvation.
Perfect. We brought just the right amount of rockets. So, for example, if you want to get the most out of your rockets, it's advisable to focus your troops to command to attack a single tower, because that seems to proc the stationary loading thing that the rockets have to do before they can fire. So it might be preferable doing that, but simply to save myself the time and focus, and so I can instead look at, all the explosions going on, because that's what I'm into, I've just put the my forces onto attack structures. So now they will focus attacking down all structures until none remain. As you can see, that doesn't stop them launching rockets, it just, they fire with less frequency, maybe, I think? Or, like, with less concentration? Also, by having them on this auto-attack, command, it gives me time to go through the different squads and reinforce them as need be.
Again, faith is eternal.
Whirlwind artillery tank here.
Oh no! We'll pull these guys back behind some turrets. The turrets should be able to easily shred those storm boys.
Approaching target.
Is that a Mad Doc? Not anymore, it ain't. Oh, he's still kicking. And now he's still kicking. What an absolute beast. I think that one did it.
We will establish a forward base at this location to facilitate ready access to Space Marines. We will need many to ensure the war boss is dead and buried.
All that for my librarian to just conk
Thermoplasma
out.
generators are available. They will provide us greater access to
I
power.
am ready to serve.
Right.
You are the Emperor's chosen.
Okay, so first base is down. I am going to do what the game said and get a second operational base there, simply because I do not want to have to suffer through the indignity of having to drive my troops all the way back up that winding road to get them to the next staging area. So from here,
As you wish.
we're just going to take the troops and move them up.
Denies faith.
I want to hold the river. So one thing to take note of is in the river, enemies have reduced cover, or I think they suffer from the exposed status effect. This means that they'll take, I think they take increased damage, or they have reduced armor. Either way,
Area is secure.
that makes this a very good area for us to position ourselves, because enemies coming across that river are going to take more damage.
Area is secure.
Anyway, we're going to get the base set up, capture the points. I'll cut back when something else is happening.
Scouts ready.
Right. Let us see what we are dealing with here. Some Gretchens. We got another strategic point. Killer cans. Hopefully we can take those out with a
Getting
rocket
into
volley
position.
before they actually get on the
Scouts
Marines.
advance. On patrol.
But that shouldn't be too hard. If I wanted to be slow about it, I could throw the dreadnoughts at them first and then hit them with rockets, but that might take a bit longer.
Search
Another
commencing.
strat point. Again,
Search
rocket volley.
commencing. We will move ahead and mark
Some
any
shooter
enemy
boys.
positions.
Honestly,
I
the
sense
rockets
danger.
can probably take
We
them
will root
too,
it out.
because there's so many of them.
I sense danger.
This big bridge
We
is
will root it
concerning.
out.
It's a lot of exposed space.
Getting into position.
There's
my
Miss
lord.
Squiggoth, and there's the problem.
Search commencing.
That is...
We will move ahead and mark any
That
enemy
is so
positions.
much armor. We are going to suffer some major casualties assaulting that. Honestly, somebody just call up the Litany of Fury. Tell them Gabriel
I
said
await
send it.
your
Just wipe that
instructions.
mountain off the face of the
Here
earth.
to serve.
But the opening stage of this game gave me an idea. I probably cut around me talking about this. I've positioned the whirlwinds across this chasm here, and I'm going to try and soften up some of the areas.
His wrath
Yes, my
falls
lord.
from the heavens.
I sense danger. We will root it out.
So basically I want to try and make it a little bit easier for the
Commencing
troops,
infiltration.
and I figured the best way for me to do that would just
We will
to
root it out.
hammer at least one side of their army.
We will move ahead and mark any enemy positions. Search
I
commencing.
am concerned.
I sense danger.
I
We will
counted
root
no
it
less
out.
than 7 tanks there.
Yes, my lord.
Honestly, it's gonna be a pretty hectic fight. Well, no time like the present.
Back to war.
Orders
Boys.
received, brother.
We're going in.
Orders received. Fear our wrath. Fear our wrath. Engaging the enemy. Engaging the enemy.
Okay.
Orders received.
That's what we're hoping for with the rocket volleys, is a degree of swiftness to these encounters to make sure we don't suffer too many casualties. And killer cans destroy morale.
It is better to die for the Emperor than live for yourself.
Okay, that was pretty good. It was pretty good. I think we lost 3 or 4 Marines from one squad. Not too bad. We can recoup that quickly. Might reposition these guys to hit a different section. Let's see if we can't get that tank.
Fear denies faith.
And now, for the most useful part of these assault marines,
Activating jump pack.
Crack grenades!
Target their vehicles. Preparing to
It is time to depart.
to the skies. To the rally point. Maintain attack formation.
Yikes, yikes, yikes.
Mission accomplished.
There we go.
Orders received, brother.
Woo boy!
Returning to
Okay,
battle.
not bad, not bad. We captured
are
that
the
stratagem
Emperor's
point, very
chosen.
good. Basically, that's going to be an objective as us as we go forward, is just to capture the stratagem points as we go for the specific reason of
Under fire.
to deny the orcs the chance to reinforce than to increase our own, because we're really, I think we're like on our pop cap right now, which is frustrating, but we can deal with it. We can deal with it.
Moving out.
I wouldn't say no to being able to field like a massive entire battalion of. Just get the whole chapter down here, man. 1,000 Space Marines armed with T-Plane rockets. We'd take this out easy.
Moving out. Engaging the enemy. Fear our wrath.
Okie dokie. Time for that final push. So we kind of know what we're going up against here, but all the same, we'll see how the boys fare.
Look at that monstrosity. I have heard legends of such beasts, but I've never seen one. Men, concentrate your fire. We must take this creature down.
Okay, so we've got the Squiggoth charged out ahead, which is good, but already we can see signs of that tank fire hitting our troops on the other side of it. Not great. Yeah, so it also seems like the Squiggoth has a couple of cannons on its own on its top. It's got some type of shock blaster and also some type of heavy cannons on the sides. Not to mention, it's just tearing apart anything I put in front of it. So that dreadnought lasted only a few seconds. Hopefully Commander Gabriel's doing alright tanking it, but we're just gonna hope he lasts long enough. See, if I kill the Killican first, that's one less thing to focus on, but I feel like I need to keep focus on the Squiggoth and just let those who are... Oop, frozen screen. Hello? Oh, there we go. That was weird. Oh no, Gabriel! Gabriel is done, folks, there he goes. Jesus. Oh, and the War Boss enters the fray. Behold the Orc Boss. War Boss, Orcamungus, alongside his majestic Squiggoth. Yes! Not anymore! Okay, now we just need to kill the War Boss. Oh, this is going better than I thought. We are suffering some heavy casualties though, just like I fretted. We haven't even, the reason I'm not even panning the screen over is because we haven't even, the tanks over there are just raining down explosions on us, and, but if I kill the War Boss, that makes a big difference, because the War Boss is apparently ridiculously tanky. That's it, come on, just kill him. The tanks are secondary. If we can kill the War Boss, we can come back for the tanks with more rockets at a later date. I mean, even though right now they are absolutely hammering us, I just want to get that War Boss taken care of. He's only down to half health. He's got as much HP as that damn Squiggoth. See, his own cannons are actually hitting him right now, which is what's bouncing him around that much. Don't let him get away. Come on, boys. Alright, fine then. We'll just push on. Holy shit. I mean... That's the towers, I guess? My focus is going to be hitting the smaller ones first to just limit how much fire is coming towards us, but... I don't know, guys. This is a lot. all we can hope to do is keep firing, but now that we're in range, we're just getting decimated. And the war boss is coming back. No? Okay, Orcamungus is a weird guy. He's I think he's literally taunting us. I don't think we got this situation though, so we're pulling back. We're pulling back. This is too much. We're getting hammered here. I don't even have enough time to restore their rockets, so we're just gonna pull back. And they're gonna give chase.
Knowledge is power. Hide it well.
Orders received.
I guess we pray we can hold position.
There is no such thing as innocence. Only degrees.
This. Oh dear. We might have kicked the hornet's nest here. This does not look good. I think it's fair to say I may have underestimated the actual tankiness of these Orc tanks, these ones specifically. I think the war trucks spoiled me with how squishy they were, but I don't know, guys. I want to kill the war boss, so he's down now, but the tanks are just too much. This is I severely underestimated how many cannons we would actually need. I mean, rockets. I am gonna need to slow them though.
Follow my orders.
Our librarian's doing alright, but it's not enough. No, it's not enough. This is why originally I had the dreadnoughts, was I wanted them to, they would have at least been able to somewhat resist this hail of cannon fire to some extent, but they just don't have the anti-armor technology I need them to have. Okay, new plan. We're just gonna try and kite. If we can kite the big man into just staying in line with the turret fire, we might stand a chance. I mean, he's just taking it, and the turrets, while the turrets aren't exactly as tanky as I want them to be, the gun platforms, they are taking a beating, which is good. Never mind. Why did I do that? Right, I wanted them in the trees. Aha, that was his plan all along. We wanted them in the trees for that extra defense. It's not working. Come on, just keep hammering him. He's on the flea again.
Yes, most beneficent one.
That's it, just stay there a little bit longer. I admit this is probably you can call this orc stupidness or the AI being dumb. Either way, I'm taking advantage of it. That's it, hammer him. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Yes! Okay. That is 2 of our objectives done. The last one is going to be the taking of that orc base. But for now, we need to regroup. So we're going to launch a few strike. We're going to launch some side-on flanking strikes. We just need to try and take out as many of these tanks as we can. Honestly, that's the objective. The objective is completely and entirely summarized by kill the enemy armor. Don't know why I didn't have them on melee. That was dumb of me. Alright, tank dead. Move on. Next target. Let's go. Also, we're gonna try and attack another one of the log towers. The point being, I can't visualize perfectly where the tank is, so if we put it roughly in that area, hopefully the shells will just scatter and they'll hit both the tank and the log tower. But now it's time to get the heck out of Dodge. I'll admit, maybe I underestimated these assault marines. I've been getting a decent amount of work out of them, and with the crack grenades, they make a decent anti-armor unit. I mean, they're not as good as the rockets in my opinion, but those crack grenades definitely do work.
Squad broken.
Well, this is intriguing. It seems the orcs are mounting a counter-offensive. I was not expecting this. I might have underestimated this game's AI, but that's okay because I have a plan. That plan being to quite literally make an entire army of. It's the exact same plan as before. We're gonna make an army of dreadnoughts and assault marines and throw it at them. We are going to move our tanks and our assault marines though because they are going to need to buy us time. Wow, I didn't actually. I'll be honest. I wasn't expecting a counteroffensive. This is a little exciting. I might get my shit stomped here.
Yes, my lord.
I would be embarrassed to lose my forward base, honestly. I was talking all that good shit before. But that's okay, because we do have means of halting their advance. Yeah, so now it's just a race to see if we can get enough anti-armor up to stop them before their tanks destroy all of our stuff. The whirlwinds will do good work though, for the time being. They'll hammer them down a little bit, and once they get close enough, hopefully we have enough rockets to actually stall their approach. It's gonna be close though. It's gonna be close. This is another section I'm fully expecting casualties. Again, as fast as I can recuperate them, there's not really a way to recoup armor safely when they're throwing explosives like that. Like, see, the rockets have a period where they have to reload, and in that period, it getting, I think, interrupted by a shell completely stops it, and it means they have to restart, which is problematic because it means we aren't doing as much damage as we could be doing. It hurts even more considering I haven't even finished how slow the upgrade system is. Sorry, that's not fair. The reinforcement system is great. I just wish that I could queue up weapons and people at the same time. That's me being greedy, though. We're just gonna, plan is the same as before. Rockets upon rockets upon rockets, and just we'll let the tanks come to us.
We are the Emperor's chosen.
But we need to have rockets ready for them, because if we run in there with just regular marines, they're gonna get torn apart, and that's just not fitting of the Astartes. In fact, actually, our boys, they are effective anti-armor. I need to give them more credit, and it's time to get some more use out of them.
We stand ready.
We'll throw them in, and they'll buy us the time we need.
What's your order?
Okay, hopefully they'll buy us the time we need.
We are the Emperor's chosen.
As soon as those rockets are up and going. Alright. Let's see what we can do. Okay, they're distracted on the assault marines, so now we need those rockets. There it is. Just... wow, okay. I really wish we had some las cannons or something, just a way to soften up this armor even more, because these rockets just aren't doing enough. Credit to this orcish armor here, it's got a nice mix of anti-infantry and heavy ordnance. Really carrying its own weight. Like, now, as you can see, all I'm doing is trying to reinforce and recuperate my losses, and taking advantage of the commander ability to reinforce their morale, which stops them taking as much damage. But tanks' shells is doing more damage to my morale than I can even hope to recuperate, which means, in turn, I'm taking more damage from all sources, so it's really a race to see how what can do more damage quicker, me or them. So the most I can hope to do is just throw more meat marines in the way. The Dreadnought army there is going to stay there. That is my last defense, as they don't have any anti-armor attacks. They are just going to have to be there as cushions to soak up damage should this forward front of marines fail, thus giving me more time to make more marines. But we seem to be holding to a degree, just not without, you know, us taking some significant losses in turn. We need to kill that armor, come on guys. The accuracy of my rockets leaves something to be desired. But yeah, okay. This is more like it. This is more like it. This is our pushback. This is the retaliation. I like it. Losses be damned. We need to take care of this armor. I will say though, we're making an admirable pushback. I think maybe, yeah, I think we might be able to push them back now that we've worked them back into the river. Not without casualties though. I mean, everything seems to be going. What the hell?
We stand ready.
Oh, that's hilarious. A Killican has somehow snuck back and is now trapped between a rock and a hard place. I'm probably going to ignore that in all honesty. There's not much they can do to threaten me. But yeah, no, I think we're definitely going to succeed here. So once we've taken care of the last of the assaulting armor, we'll regroup, reposition, and then we'll move in for another push. Without the Squigoth and the Warboss there, chances are we'll be able to break right through and head for the base, or at least I hope we will.
Orders received, brother.
There is one thing I want to discuss though. On the topic, a lot of the times when you hear talk or read about the Space Marines or the Astartes, it always talks about them as, well, to be fair, as these demigods of war, which, yeah, they are, compared to a regular human. But in the Warhammer 40k universe, that doesn't mean terribly much. I mean, literal millions die every day on... sorry, no, billions, let's be honest. Billions die every day on billions of different worlds.
Yes, my lord.
It's inconsequential in the grand scheme of things. These Astartes dying here is honestly terribly accurate, because as powerful as they are, they're still taking on just as orcs that are just as powerful strength-wise, if not more so.
Direct us to the enemy.
Orc guns, as stupid as they are, just as effective. I mean, an explosion's an explosion at the end of the day.
Yes, my lord.
Not to mention they have that whole psychic buffing system. Wow, it's trying to attack from behind. Let's see if it actually makes it to them. Oh? Okay. So rather than interrupt me claiming that point, it tried to just circle around cautiously like a startled crustacean. No matter. But yeah, as I was saying, like, I can't... The Astartes matter because they are the ones that can go up against forces like the Orcs like this and not just die in overwhelming droves. Like, yeah, they're still suffering casualties, but so are the Orcs.
Taking command.
I mean, with most human fronts, I have to imagine the situation is, a lot of the time, humanity playing defense, and only then, still managing to pull through due to surplus of numbers, and against Orcs especially, penchant for better stratagems. As cunning as an Orc can be, a lot of the time their tactics will just come down to a simple mentality of charge the enemy. And the thing is, it works. It does. You throw a big enough rock at a planet and to shatter its defenses, and then you just have an endless green horde charge out of it. I mean, the Orcs were the original Horde faction, baby! As dangerous and terrifying as the Tyranids are, the Orcs, they were around for the war in heaven. These Tyranids, they're the new boys in school. I actually do like the Tyranids, in all honesty. The idea of this extra I don't know, what's I was gonna say extra dimensional, but they're not. What's the terminology for something that comes from outside of a galaxy? It's not extraterrestrial because that's outside of a planet. But anyway, the Tyranids, the idea of these colossal, huge Tyranids, these massive swarming bugs that travel through space across the dark sectors between galaxies. One of my favorite memes is, what are they running from? That one always cracked me up, is the idea that these terrifyingly endless legions of insects are somehow running from an even worse apex predator. And if that doesn't sound like grimdark to you, then you're not listening hard enough. But, the Orcs really are a great horde faction in sense, because, they have all the benefits of most horde factions. They don't feel fear, they aren't really
must be nearby.
tethered by any semblance of, and individualistic desires aside from the betterment of themselves in the Orc hierarchy.
Enemies of the Emperor still
Kind of hard to negotiate with something that already views itself as a member of the apex species and doesn't really feel fear. As you saw before with the Chaos Lords bargaining with them, for them it wasn't a matter of, we're doing what these Chaos guys say because they're giving us something. No, it's, we want to fight them. That's why we're not killing you, is we want to fight them.
Praise the Emperor.
Weapons at ready. It is time.
Now
Stay
we,
vigilant, brothers.
Praise the Emperor.
just to summarize, what's going to happen now is an absolute hailing of explosives. That's it. We are just going to systematically move in and destroy everything. Buildings, vehicles, and leaving nothing alone this time, so there's, even if they do manage to kill us, they won't be able to make a counterattack like they did before. I'm aware there's a tank hitting me here, but as we are currently equipped to deal with anti-armor, I want to try and limit the amount of infantry they can send at us, specifically because we are not equipped as readily to deal with that. Yes, the armor is still the biggest threat, but I need to make sure they don't somehow end up sending a bunch of anti-infantry units at me, or slugger boys, or knobs, because that will be just as devastating, if not more so.
For the glory of the Imperium.
We've done good though. It seems they sent a lot of their tanks towards us in that counterattack, and since we managed to stave that off, and we've taken so many strategic points, they don't really seem to have the resources necessary to counter. Which is good. Which is good. Man, can you imagine a Gretchen getting hit by a rocket? It would just be vaporized.
The Emperor protects.
I'm going to change the stance to aggressive, because that way I don't have to keep clicking every time something slips by.
Better to die for the Emperor than live for yourself.
These guys are going to cover the back.
By his word.
They're going to be there in case I need a way out. Like I said, I don't want to, if for some reason they have more tanks than I'm expecting and they manage to break break this second assault, then I want to have those dreadnoughts ready to stop a counteroffensive, because I don't want to have to have another race where it's a race to see if I can get out enough anti-armor to stop them before their tanks roll up on my base. So, worst case scenario, if this assault force here does end up failing, there will be a legion of dreadnoughts there to cover in to take up the slack.
Onward to glory.
He who stands with me shall be my brother.
None shall stop. Hear our wrath.
Time to take full advantage of the range of these rockets. Very nice, very nice. I will say this, I like this, one thing I've noticed, it's nothing I've noticed, it's one thing I remembered as soon as I started playing the game again, but it's one thing I want to point out now. The fact that all the Orc buildings have guns in them, love that. Every single building, in it being a turret, a defensible turret in its own right, perfect. Very Orcy, and better yet, very strategically sound.
Orders received. Stay vigilant.
I mean, when I think of a real-day modern base, I fully think of a fully defensible outpost that would have not just gates and walls and stuff, but, you know, mounted guns, watchtowers, sniper posts. It just makes sense to have as much defensible, especially when you're like in the Warhammer 40k universe, where literally you are at war daily. It just makes sense.
None shall stop us.
And fire. Outstanding. Perfect. Okay. So yes, right now, as you can see, I'm going around the edges of where the main base is consistent to be. Again, this is to stop anything getting behind me. I do not want to be flanked.
Onward to glory.
As you can see, though, we're not encountering as much resistance, which is leading me to believe at this point we are getting close to our objective of breaking the orcs. If not, we can probably count them as already broken, or thereabouts, because as it stands, they're not sending any more tanks at us, which means I think, as far as things are considered, we've broken their offensive. They don't have the resources to send another barrage of armor at us, which is perfect as I like it, and we haven't seen knobs since we took the forward base, which is now our forward base, which is just fine by me, because again, the knobs were actually pretty intimidating. They easily took apart our assault marines. Don't let those little ones past. Ah! I missed one. I don't know where, but I missed one.
I am the instrument of
That's
his
okay.
will.
There he is.
I have waited long for
We'll
this day.
send the dreadnoughts at him, and we'll push him in towards the rockets.
The immortal Emperor. The Emperor protects.
Outstanding. Alright. Now, I'm pretty sure we're clear behind us. That's what I was afraid of, by the way, was there being something hidden behind us that I didn't see. So that's why I was taking it so slow and clearing up the flanks first. Now we're going to destroy their armor positions first, because I do not want more killicans, and I sure as hell don't want any more of their damn tanks and war trucks. So we'll kill their mech bases, their mech boy huts.
Attacking as ordered. Weapons at ready. It is time. Attacking as ordered. Stay vigilant, brothers. Stay vigilant.
It's amusing to think of the fact that even though right now we are killing the orcs in droves, that later on, if someone was to try and retake this planet, they would have to go back over this entire base with like promethium canisters and just burn it all to the ground. Like scorch every bit of wildlife, probably rip up the soil as well to make sure there's no spores hidden under the dirt.
Orders received.
Yeah, this entire area would just be incinerated. I'm not sure what they would do with it afterwards, actually. I don't know enough about Warhammer 40k's planetary recuperation strategies. I mean, I think the planet that best symbolizes, best explains it is Armageddon, because that one's experienced Chaos Crusades, it's experienced Orc invasions, it's experienced just about damn near everything. That planet's been through hell and back, literally. But, the reason I point this out is the planet is considered a death world. It's not exactly habitable, as we understand a habitable planet to be. I don't even think there's trees on Armageddon anymore, but it does have its hive cities. So I don't know if Tartarus is a planet that could sustain hive cities, because we saw the capital before, and by Warhammer 40k standards, it was very very sparse. It wasn't, you know, a giant hive city built upon layers upon layers upon layers. So, I'm not sure, but if Tartarus wants to regain this planet after this Orc invasion, they're going to need to burn all this, just incinerate it completely. But that is the mission done.
Brother Tantheus.
Burned beyond recovery of his gene seed, along with Brother Michaelis. Nothing was left of them save for ash. They burned from the inside out.
Anything else to report?
The Orc War boss has been destroyed, but we saw a dropship leave the area. Captain, she bore the 8-pointed star.
The mark of the ruinous powers of chaos.
The forces of chaos, here, now?
Tartarus has endured several black crusades led by the terrible Chaos Champions. However, it seems too convenient that orcs and these heretics are here at the same time. But I trust the eyes of our scouts. Isidore, do you sense anything?
No, I have sensed nothing. But if the nature of Brother Tantheus's demise is any indication, then they would have a sorcerer with them who would be capable of masking their presence, especially with all the background static caused by the orcs.
Ah, our honored guest has arrived.
Who is it?
Inquisitor Mordecai Toth, protector of the Emperor's divine word and will.
Is he here to take command?
An Inquisitor may have near unlimited power. Yes, he can commission the service of any Imperial citizen, from peasant to planetary governor, but...
I shall not cede command of my Space Marines to him, Inquisitor or not.
Then why is he here? Does he suspect one of us of heresy?
He is an Inquisitor. They suspect everyone of heresy. If chaos taints this world, then that explains his presence. We must share with him what we discovered. Inquisitor Toth, welcome to Tartarus.
Thank you, Captain. But we have little time for courtesies. You and your men must leave Tartarus. Now.
And like that, we have completed the 4th mission of the campaign. We have crushed war boss Orcamungus, we have completely dispatched his mighty beast the Squiggoth, and we have destroyed his armor, which was, raining hellfire down on my troops, but not anymore! Anyway, next time we come back, we will hopefully discover a bit more about the presence of the Inquisition on planet Tartarus, and hopefully we will begin to unravel the mysteries of why the ruinous powers actually have a presence here. I must admit, I am curious to discover what it is that brings the forces of chaos here to the planet, especially also discovering that Tartarus has been involved in some of the Black Crusades. That's very indicative of there being possibly more to this planet than meets the eye, but that's for next time. Anyway, folks, I've been Deca Druid, and thank you very much for watching.